Winnebago County's Emergency Operations Center prepares for and deals with emergency situations in the county. Now the space gets a much-needed upgrade.
23 News reporter Anthony Ferretti looks at how these renovations can protect Winnebago County residents from a disaster.
The Winnebago County Board invests almost $500,000 worth of upgrades toward the Emergency Operations Center, or EOC. The money is split between American Rescue Plan funds and Emergency Services and Disaster Agency grants.
We were blessed with having the funding that we had.
It's definitely a needed upgrade.
This is a very important day for Winnebago County.
Michaela Bradley is the county's Deputy Chief Information Officer. She says the previous equipment they use at the EOC is now obsolete and in dire need of an upgrade.
With having equipment that was 15 years old, we were essentially, in order to get connected to things, we were providing Band-Aids instead of actual resolution.
Discussions to renovate it started after the center dealt with the Chemtool fire back in June 2021. EOC workers say the old equipment makes communication difficult to keep the people safe.
Communication is a key, not only within the people within this room, but also with the outside world, with our partners in Ogle, Boone, and Stevenson County.
One of the upgrades is the replacement of wireless access points. Center workers say this makes it easier to connect the county to local health and law enforcement agencies.
It's very important that everybody's working, making their decisions based on the same set of information.
Our number one priority is public safety.
Additional upgrades to the space include new TVs, phone system, and computers.
We need to protect our citizens, do everything we can. We have to make sure we're prepared, that we mitigate disasters, man-made or natural.
Bradley says informing the community to keep them safe in times of a disaster is essential.
They're the ones that helped us get all this equipment updated.
The EOC operates with four main parts when a disaster does strike: a planning section, logistics section, operations section, and a finance and administration section.
Thank you, Anthony. And the space opened in 2007 when the Winnebago County Criminal Justice Center in Rockford was built. Prior to that, it was in the basement of the old public safety building.